Okay. All right. So people get in front of the thingy. It's recording now.
They're killing me.
All right. So this is 1, 2, 3. He's sitting there. 4, 5, and 6, and now everybody can sit back down again since we got everybody in the picture. That is.
Oh, I see me.
There we go. That is my audience of 6, and I suppose he's gonna sit right there. That's okay. All right. Okay. Now that my audience is ready, I'm going to begin, and I'm going to begin by saying that my name is Tyler McAllister. I'm 20, and I'm from a small town called Piedmont. Well, see, I'm going to begin, simple introduction. I want to say that in life, we see ourselves as many things. We have many different labels that we find ourselves. We have many different niches in life that we eventually go through. Sometimes we toss them aside. Sometimes we evolve into new ones. It's a process that is ever going and ongoing, and at the moment, I'm going to boldly say that even I have a couple things that I define myself as, and some of these things, of all of them, are going to be casual gamer. You will see me on video games all the time. Another one, quite simply, is I'm a crew trainer at McDonald's. It's what I do. It's how I make money. Not much, but still. And the final thing, and this is probably the most important thing that I find myself above all others, is still a student. So from there, I'm going to begin to describe the different roles in life that I play, what I am, and the first thing that I'm going to start with is probably the most simple, probably the thing that I do for entertainment, for recreation, and that is I'm a casual gamer. I say casual for a specific reason, and I will go on into that later. But see, I do play different games, and several different ones, and the several different games that I play actually are based on if they are multiplayer or single player. And this is an important factor because that is whether I play alone by myself or with others, and that social interaction affects the game entirely. When I'm playing alone, I just prefer to play something like an RPG. Don't need to shoot and kill people, I just need some magic and swords, and that's my thing. I want to play as another person, I want to get a storyline unfolding. That is what I want to specifically do. And that is how I am as a casual gamer. But once you put me into multiplayer games, I start taking over as something like a MOBA player, which is a multiplayer online battle arena, or an FPS, a first-person shooter. That's when I'm getting competitive. That's when I'm going to want to dominate. That's when I'm going to just be competing with other people. However, throughout my time in playing games, I played several different games, because at a point, I was a far more hardcore gamer. I used to play games like World of Warcraft and Sins of a Solar Empire, and those two games are, in and of themselves, significantly different from each other. World of Warcraft is a multiplayer online game, specifically an MMORPG. That is an RPG, like I said, I like to play single player, but it is multiplayer. It is vast, it is one of the largest, most stable. It is still ever going with ever expansive expansion packs, etc. and so forth. It's a very interesting game. And Sins of a Solar Empire, more specifically, is a global, galactic level RTS, which is real-time strategy. It's got one of the most integrated and involved combat systems. You can actually win a game through evolving your own culture. And as one might expect, both of these games require a large investment of time, skill, effort, and that's why I had to stop playing them. I no longer have the time and effort to be able to put into games like that, so I've switched over to more casual games that I can play off and on without losing or just having a big detriment to my play style. And I'd say I'm going to have to change first is, of course, as I said, the time and effort involved. But moreover is that a lot of those games also had monthly subscriptions to pay just to play them. I don't want to do that anymore. So I stopped doing that. And this is all based around a change in focus that has happened in the last few years that has been due to something I'm going to be discussing later in this speech. But I'm going to digress and start explaining what I do as I guess as an occupation. It's the very first step in whatever career I'm starting, and that is I'm a crew trainer at McDonald's. And the very first part of our training as a crew trainer, what we're taught is that we have 4 main aspects of what we're supposed to be doing. And those 4 aspects are we are supposed to be a leader, we're supposed to be a coach, we're supposed to be a role model, and we're supposed to be an expert. Now, one can debate whether I'm any of those 4 things. I might be a terrible role model. I think I'm a terrible role model. But apparently at work they believe I'm not. They believe I'm capable of being somebody that other workers should reflect on and try to be more like. As a leader, oftentimes, I might actually be the only person who knows how to run several stations at work, and I have to explain to them how to do things most efficiently, to keep times down, to keep food going out, etc. and so forth. As a coach, I have to be the guy that is often making sure our grill or our service is working together as a team to accomplish something. That is the entire purpose of coaching. Coach and leader do often go hand in hand. You really can't be one without the other if you're doing it right. If you're doing it wrong, you're barely being anything at all. And of course, expert in many, I would probably argue this is why I was promoted in the first place. In many stations within our setup, like we have different areas of which we have to work at, I am often quicker with better times than a lot of my other workers, and I believe that the purpose of me being promoted was less of my leadership skills and more of my ability or the hope that if I'm going to be training somebody, I'm going to be training them to reflect the fact that I am capable of working those stations to such an expert degree. And that is specifically what I am in my goal in that career. However, I am only part-time in that, and I keep open hours. And as I said before, just as I had to have a change in focus with my games, I have to keep a certain focus, a certain open availability with my status as to where I work. And that is something that's going to be carrying over into the last thing that I am, and that is a student. First and foremost, above all things, I do believe I am a student. I'm here to learn. It is what I do. And one of the big things is, if you're going to ask me why I'm a student, first, I do enjoy learning. I enjoy ever expanding just the things that I can say that I know, whether it's definitive or not, or just the topics that I can brush over and understand. But it's also a gateway to better things that don't involve me training people at stations and at McDonald's. Don't want to do that forever, guys. So, as I'm explaining that, it's going to be what opens and paves the way to better things in life, so that I can just advance further and not have to continue handing out burgers. But why is education my focus? I've already explained that. But how has it being my focus affected all those other things? And what I'm going to boldly say is that I had to cut out a lot of the other things. I had to switch from being a hardcore gamer, which I did thoroughly enjoy, to being something more casual. And it is still one of my most mainstream forms of entertainment. It's what I do. It's what I invest a significant amount of time in if I have it. And why I'm only working between 22 to 26 hours a week at where I work, and why I have such a limited income, that is to focus on my grades, my education, and just that ultimate gateway to a better career. So as I'm saying all those things, I'm going to still continue to say that I am all those things. I am many things, just as every person around you is still many things. You are never going to be just one niche, just one label, just one aspect of life. You have to keep a balance in them. Just as I found the balance is always going to be in favor of being a student. And that is why I'm going to say that I'm a student first and foremost above all other things. My balance to the things that I am, the time that I invest, the effort that I put into things, is mostly focused, is all in favor of being a student. And as I am in favor of being a student, I'm going to say that I am still many things, but I am a student above all.